Thanksgiving's canceled. No one's coming, my mom texted. That night, I got accidentally tagged in a family photo, turkey, champagne, a banner over the table, just family. I read it twice. The next morning, my brother asked, still paying for the family trip? I replied, naturally. I paused everything: payment, flights, access. At 8 a.m., my parents knocked at the door, saying, let us in. I opened it slowly, smiled, and said, Thanksgiving's canceled. No one's coming, my mom texted. No explanation. No follow-up. Just a 3-second announcement that years of tradition were suddenly irrelevant. I sat with the message for a while. Thought about the hotel I'd booked, the rental car, the pie I'd picked up from that overpriced bakery they love. Then I shrugged. Maybe it really was canceled. But that night, I got a notification. I'd been tagged, accidentally, I assume, in a photo from my cousin's account. The caption read, grateful for real family, and underneath was the image. A table set for 12. Turkey, champagne, gold plates, and a banner over the table. Just family. I read it twice. My name wasn't in the tags. My seat wasn't at the table. But there was no doubt where they were. At my parents' house. Laughing. Eating. Celebrating. Without me. I didn't call. Didn't text. I just looked at the photo like it was a joke that hadn't landed yet. At 7:42 the next morning, my phone buzzed. Still paying for the family trip? From my brother. No greeting. No shame. Just that. I stared at his message for a full minute, then typed one word. Naturally. Then I opened my laptop. Paused the flight bookings. Canceled the Airbnb. Suspended the travel insurance. And revoked their access to the family account, something they still don't understand I manage entirely. By 8 a.m., they were on my doorstep. My dad pounding on the door like it was an emergency. My mom behind him shouting my name, like if she said it loud enough it would still mean something. I opened it slowly. Smiled. I didn't slam the door. I didn't yell. I just stood there and let them talk. They weren't even trying to lie well. We thought it'd be less stressful without you. It was last minute, really. You always make it weird. They threw those lines like confetti, hoping something would stick. My mom called it a misunderstanding. My dad said I was being emotional again. My brother stood behind them, arms crossed, not saying a word, because he never had to. He never spoke against it, which made the silence louder. He lets everyone else do the cutting, then steps in to collect the benefits. But here's what they didn't realize. This wasn't the first time. It was just the first time I saw it clearly. That night, the one with the photo wasn't an accident. It was just another square in a quilt that's been smothering me for years. I started replaying every scene I tried to forget. The birthday they forgot, until I reminded them. My brother got a car that year. The time I paid off their taxes and my mom told her bridge group, he's finally being useful. The anniversary party I funded top to bottom, and my aunt laughed. Don't let the help sit up front. The wedding I wasn't asked to be in, only to fund. The house I co-signed. The business software I built. The streaming accounts I paid for. The college tuition I covered, just until they get on their feet. They didn't see me. They saw a resource. I was never a son, never a sibling. I was a service, a bank account with legs. And every time I gave, they took. Every time I stayed quiet, they filled the silence with jokes about how fragile I was, how lucky I should feel they even let me in the room. I remembered my mom once saying, we can always count on you. I used to think that meant she trusted me. Now I know better. It meant they assumed I wouldn't say no. Because I never had. Not really. Not when I was excluded. Not when I was mocked. Not when they replaced me with discounts, favors, or more convenient family members. But that banner, just family, that was the knife. Because it wasn't subtle. It wasn't buried in implication. It was clear, direct, intentional. They had drawn a line. And for once, I believed them. So I didn't argue. Didn't write a dramatic monologue. I just watched the pattern unfold in my head like an old film reel. Scene by scene. Moment by moment. And underneath every memory was the same message. We don't see you. Only what you give. So I made a decision. I wouldn't give anymore. Not because I was angry, but because I had finally learned the difference between helping and being used. And as I sat in my living room, watching the sun rise while their notifications poured in like static noise, I smiled. Not because I was fine, but because for the first time, I wasn't trying to fix it. I sat at my desk, screen glowing. Coffee gone cold hours ago. My heartbeat was steady, purposeful. I opened the spreadsheet I'd been staring at for days, a list of recurring payments they never mentioned, permissions they never acknowledged, privileges they assumed. domain names, streaming services, cloud backups, rental car memberships in their names, insurance policies, all tied to me. Login, password, two-factor, my credentials. Things they believed were normal. Like tools I kept in a garage they never bothered to enter. I pulled up the first entry, the shared credit card they used for vacations, groceries, even my daughter's holiday gifts. They didn't ask. They took. First click. Pause on autopay. Confirmation prompt. Done. Second, opened airline account. Suspended their authorized traveler status. No backpacker privileges. No last-minute family fare. No excuse. Third, hotel loyalty program. Suspended profiles under mother's name. I'd accrued points for her, but the accounts all read inactive due to policy violation. Policy violation. Unauthorized usage. Fourth, streaming services. Apple TV, Netflix, Spotify. I removed shared profiles. I didn't delete them. I just made them invisible, inactive. The ghost of access. Fifth, forwarding email on my domain to theirs. Switched it off. We didn't get confirmations, too bad. Sixth, parental controls on family account. Entered a new password. I didn't disable the account. I removed them entirely. If they wanted in, they'd need to ask. All of this was quiet. Cold. Surgical. I made phone calls. Good morning. This is John Reynolds, account holder. I want to rescind all authorized users on account. Yes, every card number ending in 2345, 6789, 1123. Effective immediately. Thank you. The call lasted 3 minutes. No apology. No second guessing. Click. If they asked, the automated system would say, access has been revoked per cardholder request. I did it again and again. By noon, lines of code in my spreadsheet had turned red, canceled, suspended, revoked. Access code logs locked out. VPN privileges, revoked. My help button that had been available 24/7, now offline. I stopped the car insurance that insured them under my policy. I didn't cancel the policy, I just removed their names. The lien, the co-owner status, gone. If they tried to file a claim, they'd need to call me. And I'd press decline. I stopped paying for their tax service. They had their own business. They could hire someone else. I asked the accountant, I'm withdrawing financial support. Final fee will be back billed to them. That call ended in silence. I let the dust settle. Around 3 p.m., I sent spreadsheets to each of them, one-page PDFs. These are your recurring charges, now suspended. Access to shared accounts removed. If you require restoration, you may request, and I will review. No shame. No drama. Pure fact. Screenshot evidence. Clear boundary. I didn't respond to their messages. No. I'm sorry. No. I'll explain. Just that one-page email. Sent. I spent the rest of the afternoon reviewing logs. My home server. My cloud backups. My credit card transactions. Every strange charge labeled family, holiday, gift, subscription. I highlighted them. Red, orange, yellow. Then I deleted the ones that were petty, the $19.99 watch party packages, the $7.50 audiobook credits, the $5 cereal boxes. For the expenses that really mattered, 5-figure support for business software, tuition, debt payments, I didn't delete. I reallocated. I created a new savings account for son's future. I transferred the exact amounts. Labeled each wire. Business software, their company, 2024 Q4. Tuition, University of State, Spring 2025. Medical claim, Mom Smith, June 2025. I changed account titles. No mystery. No sense they could claim ignorance. They would see it. Clear documentation. This wasn't punishment. It was reclamation. I called the bank. Asked them to update my account so no one could add users without my explicit approval. Security freeze. Alerts. Encryption. My finances were mine again. I called the DNS registrar. Removed phone forwarding. Email forwarding. Domain delegation. No more, your domain is still functioning under their server. I even removed them as emergency contacts on my health insurance. I prefer my wife first, I told the rep. Permissions updated. By 6 p.m., all notifications were on silent. All logs recorded. All rights revoked. I leaned back. I took a breath. The room felt emptier. Lighter. Why it mattered. Every action was quiet. No fights. No yelling. Every move was methodical. No impulsivity. Every boundary was documented. No later claims of confusion. Every resource was either returned to me or redirected with intention. I didn't want to embarrass them. I just wanted to be free. And I was. Night came. No fireworks outside. No confrontation. Just the hum of my laptop powering down. The house settled into silence. Maybe their desperation rattled inside their own walls. My phone buzzed. One message. From my mom. Why? We thought you'd understand. I didn't respond. Because understanding didn't matter anymore. I didn't expect silence. I expected doors banging, tears, begging. But it was something else entirely. By midnight, the text came in. First, a torrent from my brother. You can't do this. We'll go to the bank. Mom is having a panic attack. Stop ignoring us. Then emails from my dad, forwarded to every sibling, every aunt, every cousin. John is overreacting. He's always been like this. Maybe your head is in the wrong place, son. That last one, my own father calling me out, publicly. I stopped noticing the names. Around 2 a.m., the phone calls began. Not from them, from my aunt, my cousin, my girlfriend's mom. Short, panicked. He's sunk into a dark spiral. Did you see what he did? He's unstable. I let voicemail gather dust. By morning, their version painted me wrong. There's right, just a familiar pattern. One email thread after another, from every relative who had ever benefited from my largesse but decided to remain invisible when I wasn't useful anymore. He's emotionally volatile. He's punishing us for no reason. Can we have a family mediator? They didn't propose one for 8 years of silence, but now? I spread my hands and thought, sure, bring the mediator. They didn't expect calm. In the afternoon, my brother showed up unannounced. He stood by the front gate. This is childish. Come outside. Talk. I looked at him from the window. He looked small. Masks were failing. I opened the door. He stormed in. But he didn't yell. He started calmly. Mom is on edge. Dad and the others are confused. He paused. Took a breath. I'm begging you, just tell us what happened. He sounded desperate. But I was ready. For the first time, I stood tall. I didn't shout. Didn't cry. But each word landed heavy. You forgot I existed until I paid. I slowly faded from view, replaced by transactions. I stopped. You panicked. He tried to cut in. Hazy defenses. I put up my hand. Let me finish. I pulled out the PDF. Printed. Laid it on the table, with receipts, logged calls, screenshots. Here are the facts. Each number. Each invoice. Look at it. He leaned forward. Stared. Full stop. I watched as defenses dropped one by one. He swallowed. But we didn't know. Then whispered. I feel anger now. At us. At me. I nodded. Then it's working. I paused. You always asked me to think, to be reasonable. So I was. I didn't break anything. I reclaimed it. I didn't escalate. I just drew a border. If you want to step back across, you know where I am. He turned and left. Then the backlash erupted. A group message. We will gather evidence. We will have a lawyer. We will petition the court. My name plastered across threads. Gossip. But I sat still. I opened the PDF again. Reread my words. My numbers. I let them rage. In parallel, text arrived. From my mom. I'm sorry, I didn't know. From Dad. This is truly painful. From my adult niece. I love you, Uncle. I didn't respond. Not yet. I didn't need to comfort them. I needed to be seen. Yet the shockwave continued. That night, my lawyer called. They're threatening legal action for financial harm, emotional damages, breach of trust. I didn't flinch. Good, I said. I have documentation. Every revoked payment. Every notification. He paused. It's airtight. I smiled. Now they were in full hysteria mode. My name became the subject of whispered pity. I was either a villain or a hero, depending on who asked. Parishes divided. Alliances tested. They tried a final play, a public post in the family group. Image popped up, my childhood photo. Caption. Remember this happy boy? We need him back. Comments flooded in. This is the sweetest John we love. Please reconcile. We need Thanksgiving. I closed the app. That evening, about 10 p.m., I lit a candle. Sat alone with my thoughts. I saw the pattern snap. I heard the silent relief of boundaries landing. I felt my own pulse, stronger, calmer. I didn't hate them, just turned focus inward. I didn't want revenge. I wanted clarity. By the time I went to sleep, they hadn't broken. They were rebuilding their own stories. It wasn't so clear. We didn't know we were taking. He's misinterpreting. But that didn't matter anymore. Because I wasn't waiting. They had their avenues, mediator, court, gossip group, charity drive. I had my piece. They hysterically screamed on their side. I quietly documented mine and stopped protecting theirs. And for the first time in a long time, I sleep without covering anyone's silence. This is the moment the truth becomes undeniable, not just to me, but to everyone else. No rage. No revenge. Just evidentiary clarity that breaks their story and resets everything. I scheduled the post for 9 a.m. A neutral, unbranded webpage, no accusatory tone. No emotional appeal. Just a chronology facts. A timeline of payments every year. Screenshots of parental requests. Pay the tax bill, cover my tuition, book the hotel. The Thanksgiving banner image, unredacted. Snippets from their group chat, responding after I revoked access. We don't understand, we need him back. I titled it simply, Family Ledger. At 9 exactly, I hit publish. Within minutes, views, comments, notifications. My site handled the spike. This was my cannon shot. The threads erupted again. Some said, this is shameful. Others argued, he's right to show this. A few posted screenshots to group chats, the banner, my spreadsheet. Even my college friends chimed in. Wow, didn't know this. But there was no turning back. That afternoon, a local family therapist, someone they'd suggested as mediator, reached out. I've seen your post. It's devastating. Not because you're wrong, but because the pattern is undeniable. She asked for a meeting for all of us. I agreed, but on my terms. Venue, her office. Paper-free zone. Agenda, only listening, not proving. Evidence, already published. They showed up later that week. My parents, my brother, the therapist, no more than 5 chairs in a circle. The therapist opened. I've read your public ledger. It's thorough. No one interrupted. She turned to them. John has put numbers to experience. You can't dispute arithmetic. They looked at each other. I saw hope flicker. Mom's voice cracked. I didn't realize how much I asked of him. Dad closed his eyes. Brother turned his head. I didn't say anything. I sat back. My boundary was my presence. Therapist asked, what do you want now, John? I spoke clearly. Recognition. Not funds. Not apologies, just acknowledgement. Space, not to be a provider, but to be their son and sibling. A reset. So next request isn't assumed, but asked. My tone was calm. Precise. No drama. She turned to them. Can you listen to him? Silence. Mom wiped a tear. Dad nodded slowly. Brother exhaled. We messed up. It wasn't lightning. It was shift. They asked questions. How did this feel? What was invisible about us? Will you ever forgive us? I answered each. It felt like I was walking behind them, not beside. You saw a wallet, not a person. Yes, but trust needs rebuilding. They didn't collapse. They didn't rage. They only began hearing. Next day, dinner invitation. My parents at the table, just turkey, wine, no banner, no access revocations, but a seat for me. The banner in its place, welcome home, son. Was it magic? No. Did it fix everything? No. It did something more important. It showed boundaries can be bridges. The public exposure worked because it applied truth, not insults. It created space for honesty, not conflict. It forced them into reflection, not defense. It invited reconciliation, not permission. A week later, at Thanksgiving, I sat at the table. No autopays. No silent account suspensions. Just choices. They passed dishes, not demands. My brother thanked me. My parents hugged me, without saying thank you. But I saw it on their faces. That's how balance shifts. Not by yelling. Not with drama. With clarity, documentation, published truth. I didn't break them. They faced what had been avoided for too long. And I walked in, not to fix the past, but to build a space where I was truly seen. This is the calm yet seismic moment when everything shifts, and yet, nothing truly does. No drama, just finality. The hero affirms himself. A month later, I received a text at exactly 7:03 p.m. Can we talk? For simple words. No subject. No context. No banner. No pressure. I saw the number, my mom's. I looked at the fireplace, still warm from our last shared evening. I thought about my own pulse, steady, not anxious. I typed back. Sure. When and where? An hour later, she arrived at my front porch alone. No entourage. No brother. No tears. Just her, fragile but certain. I opened the door. She stood there as if unsure. I stepped aside, offered a seat on my stoop. The sky was darkening, cicadas humming. A quiet night. She sat. We didn't speak. After 10 long beats of silence, she finally whispered, "This isn't what I wanted." I nodded. "I know." She bit her lip, looked at her hands. "I missed you. I feel lost." "Then sit," I said softly. "Or go. I'm here." Tears welled, not because she was sorry, but because she realized she had to earn her seat again. No shortcuts. She reached out, unclenched the barrier. We stayed silent a moment. Then she spoke. "I understand. You're still standing." That moment wasn't victory. It was recognition. I stayed firm. No rushing. No hugging. No, I forgive you. Just presence. Just boundary. She moved to stand. "I'll see you tomorrow," she asked. I paused. "I'll let you know." That was it. She nodded. Walked away. Weeks passed. Occasional texts. Brief hellos. No banners. No autopays. No assumed seats. Until one evening, she called. "Family dinner. Wednesday. Just us." I thought. I replied, "I'll be there." Walking into that room felt nothing like before. No heat. No storm. Just measured peace. We sat. I opened my plate. They passed dishes. They didn't say thank you. They said something better. "You're here." Because boundaries don't close doors, they reopen them with respect. Reflection. In that final pause, I didn't say yes to them. I said yes to me, my worth, my limits, my space. They didn't get their old me back. They got someone new, someone stronger, someone clearer, someone who no longer carried their invisibility. They got a son, not a provider. A human, not a wallet. A brother, not a fixer. Final lines. I looked at their faces. Calm, real, present. I thought, this isn't about rescue. It's about return. And by choosing to show up on my terms, I reclaimed not just my seat, but my identity. Because sometimes the loudest power is in the quietest no, followed by the freedom to say yes again.